What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we are in the new 2022 Volvo Xc90 T6 Momentum, courtesy of Younger Volvo in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so obviously I wanted to check this one out, not just for the safety, because you guys probably already know every single new Volvo right now is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which kind of goes with their heritage. That is what they have always been known for, excellent safety, and they still got it. But this is going to be Volvo's 3-row option. This is a 3-row SUV, so there is seating in the very back. And so ultimately I will be going over and testing out everything about the Xc90 here, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there are essentially two different configurations for the Xc90 T6 all-wheel drive Momentum. There is the 7-passenger, where essentially the middle row is going to be bench seating. That price is going to start at $57,300, and then there is the 6-passenger seating starting at $57,800, essentially the captain's chairs for that middle row. But so then regardless of which configuration that you go with, the power plant on this one is going to be the same. Powering the T6 is going to be a 2-liter turbocharged and supercharged inline 4-cylinder, putting out 316 horsepower at 5,700 RPM, 295 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 2,200 RPM, power sent to all 4 wheels through an 8-speed automatic, 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 6.1 seconds, with MPG numbers coming in at 19 in the city, 27 then on the highway, taking premium unleaded fuel. And there is an auto start stop system then as well, so if you're stopped at a stop sign or a red light, the engine is going to automatically shut off for you, so that's going to save you some MPGs there as well then. But before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in our Xc90, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. And so drive modes are going to be all located within that center infotainment screen. They will include Eco, Comfort, Dynamic, and Off-Road, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and also the braking responsiveness as well, which is quite interesting. We're definitely going to have to test that out in a little bit. But having said that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and just put it in dynamic driving mode here. It did immediately downshift, so it is holding the RPMs at a much higher level. I can tell it's a heavier steering feel as well, which is nice. That's what I personally prefer. But since we've done that, let's go ahead and find it straight away. Let's put this acceleration here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2022 Volvo Xc90 here up to speed. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. I like the sound. That's not bad. You're definitely not going to have any issues merging onto the highway, so acceleration is 100% on point. It's really probably exactly what I would expect the Xc90 to accelerate like, so definitely no issues there. But as always, to go along with that acceleration, braking is equally important. And so to start, up front you will find 13.6-inch ventilated front discs, in the back 12.6-inch ventilated rear discs. As far as that 60 to 0 stopping distance goes, it actually comes in at an extremely impressive 113 feet. Typically with SUVs, you almost always find at least the 120s, if not the 130s. I've seen as bad as 139 feet, so 113 is quite brilliant. And quite honestly, the braking feel is wonderful in the Xc90. So again, it goes along the lines of safety, I guess you could say. It definitely comes to a nice stop, which is what you want in a safe SUV, of course. But then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an unequal length control arm front suspension, in the back independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. As far as ride quality goes, it's been perfectly fine on my short test drive here today, but I will say Hagerstown, Maryland roads are pretty darn good. But still, having said that, ride quality has been perfectly fine, like I said. So as far as steering feel goes, like I was alluding to earlier, it does adjust pretty substantially dependent upon the drive mode that you put it in. So if you put it in that dynamic drive mode, it is going to adjust, giving you a heavier feel, whereas if you put it in Eco, like I am currently in right now, it's going to loosen up that steering feel. So I personally prefer the heavier steering feel, but I like that it has a little something for everyone because of those drive modes. So I'll say that. As far as cabin noise goes, you guys can tell I am driving right now. There isn't a whole lot of exterior wind noise whatsoever coming into the cabin, so I'm definitely appreciative of that. As far as visibility goes, I can see perfectly fine out the back, so definitely no issues there either. Also, rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard on the Xc90 as well, and there actually is a head-up display available with the advanced package that goes for $1,850, and that I'm currently looking at is projecting my speed, the speed limit, and some safety information up onto my windshield as well, so that's always nice. But that about rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2022 Volvo XC90. All right, and so here she is, you guys, the new 2022 Volvo XC90 finished in denim blue metallic. Actually looks quite good here, especially in the fall foliage. But anyways, let's go ahead and start up front on the XC90 here. LED headlights with LED Thor's hammer daytime running lights, of course, coming standard. Automatic feature also coming with that, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, those headlights will turn on automatically for you there. Automatic high beams also standard across the board as well, and that essentially means when you have your high beams on at night, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beam, and then when the vehicle is gone, that it senses it's going to then put them back up to high beams, so it's just a high beam setting you never have to worry about. That's pretty convenient. Also, you have that Volvo signature front grille with vertical chrome slats. Definitely looks good. And you do have some LED fog lights with the cornering function down below to the very bottom. Cornering function meaning when you're going around a bend at night, those fog lights will swivel based on the direction of your steering angle, better help at illuminating what is around that bend. So once again, Volvo nailing it with the safety. But pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side of the XC90. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, silver roof rails do come standard. Chrome window surrounds also coming standard on this one. Body colored side skirts, I feel like I have to emphasize that because there's so many SUVs that leave them matte black, so I personally love the body colored side skirt design, and that also includes just above the fender wells there as well. Illuminated door handles do come standard. Body colored power adjustable side mirrors as well, and by the way, those side mirrors will be heated with LED integrated turn signals, and they actually come with the auto dimming feature then as well. So usually you get an auto dimming rear view mirror, but it's kind of rare you get auto dimming side mirrors, so I'm definitely a big fan of that. Then take a look down at the wheel configuration. 19-inch 6-spoke alloys is going to be your standard configuration, but there's actually 4 other wheel designs available ranging from 20 to 22 inches in size, so wanted to mention that. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile of this one. Definitely looks good. But let's now go ahead and make our way to the back of this one. All right, so now since we are around to the back, there is a body colored shark fin antenna all the way to the top there. Rear spoiler with an integrated brake light, rear window wiper affixated to the rear glass, of course. You do have your T6 badging found on the right side of that rear tailgate. LED taillights actually do come standard across the board as well, so a little better illumination at night, of course. There is some silver accenting towards the lower portion of that rear bumper as well. And then just below it all, there is a single exhaust outlet tucked away. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So now since we are around back, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, there are several different ways you can go ahead and do that. By the way, it is a hands-free power tailgate that does come standard across the board, meaning all I need to do is simply walk up to that rear tailgate, kick my foot underneath the left side or the driver's side there, and it's going to automatically open up if my hands were to be full with groceries or kids or whatever. So that's definitely very convenient. There is a button on the key fob if you wanted to go that route, and there is a button by the driver's side left knee then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 15.8 cubic feet behind that third row. And of course, if that was not enough space, you can fold that third row down, bumping that up to 41.8 cubic feet. And then with all rows folded, comes in at 85.7 cubic feet. So it's actually a decent amount of space. I know it's at least more than the Honda Pilot off the top of my head, although you might not be cross-shopping those two, but I did want to mention it. But anyways, there is actually a 12-volt power outlet back there in the cargo area. There is LED cargo lighting back there. So a little cargo tray to the right with a little strap if you wanted to hold something in place. There's a couple grocery bag hooks back there, and if you were to lift up underneath the cargo floor, you're actually going to then find a spare tire back there as well, which is always nice. I prefer that to the fix-a-flat. But then make our way to the third row legroom. That comes in at 31.9 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had back there. And by the way, there is seating for 2 in that third row, so I wanted to mention that as well. And there is rear ventilation that comes standard for those third row passengers as well, so everyone's going to be able to stay comfortable there. Then make our way up to the second row legroom. That comes in at an even 37 inches. Again, for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is actually me sitting behind my own driving position there. 4-zone climate control comes standard, meaning both rear passengers can set their own temperature. So driver, passenger, and 2 rear passengers can set their own temperature. That's pretty cool. Heated rear seats are actually available as part of a climate package that goes for $750. That actually comes with a heated steering wheel then as well. But I like the rear heated seats. It's always nice to spoil the passengers because it does get cold here in Hagerstown, Maryland. And there's actually dual phone charging ports just underneath of that rear ventilation then as well for those second row passengers. And again, bench seating or captain's chairs. We actually have the bench seating, so we got seating for 3 in the middle, but there are captain's chairs available like I was previously saying. But if you do go with the bench seating, you do have rear center armrests with cup holders then as well. But then making our way up to the front seats, 8-way power adjustable front seats do come standard. You will get memory settings for up to 3 different drivers found on the driver's side door there. Heated front seats coming standard, leather finish of course, and perhaps my very favorite part, you do have the little flag of Sweden found on the passenger seat there as well, which really is my favorite part on all Volvos. I just think that's such a unique little element that Volvo added, so I'm definitely a fan personally, and seating was plenty comfortable, by the way. Then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is leather wrapped, coming standard of course, and again with that climate package it is heated then as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Volvo logo on the one side of course, and then all of your buttons are located on the side of the key, and that is going to be lock, unlock, and the buttons pop the rear hatch. But essentially it is all keyless entry with a turn knob start. So the way that works, put your foot on the brake, turn it to the right to start, and then turn it to the right to stop. It's pretty simple. But once started up, you will find a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I love this digital gauge cluster. By the way, to adjust what is on there, there are some steering wheel mounted controls, and if you were to adjust the drive mode, the gauges will actually adjust pretty substantially as well. But other than that, it pretty much has everything you would want on a digital gauge cluster, including the outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There's the speed limit, a digital speedometer, the list goes on. So like I said, definitely a big fan of the full digital gauge cluster in this thing. Then taking a look at overall interior quality, a panoramic roof does come standard. You will find a charcoal headliner that goes for $200. Aluminum trim inlays also coming standard, but I will say there are optional wood inlays. Again, they're optional. We do have them today, so I wanted to mention it. And it's not a gloss wood, it's kind of a matte finish. So it's got a cool texturized finish to it, which I always personally prefer. You see that a lot on BMW and Mercedes, brands like that. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. You do have a frameless rear view mirror with HomeLink controls for up to 3 different garage doors. I like that. And overall, it's a very simplistic interior design. So I think there's maybe 7 or 8 buttons. They're all located just below that center infotainment screen because essentially everything is done through the center infotainment screen. There's also multicolor mood lighting with the advanced package. I wanted to mention that. And some of the highest quality speaker covers that I have seen in quite a while from Harman Kardon. So we're going to test out the sound system in a little bit here, but let's now go ahead and make our way to the tech display that I had mentioned. It is a 9-inch color touchscreen display, Bluetooth and audio streaming coming standard, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, factory navigation system as well, climate control settings with heated front seats. You gotta love that. You can check out your radio information up there as well. And by the way, 10 speakers with 224 watts is going to be the standard configuration, but we do have that optional $800 14 speaker Harman Kardon sound system with us today, and that comes with 600 watts, by the way. So what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing today here, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Very, very nice. Harman Kardon, well done. I love the speaker covers, like I was saying too, but there was plenty of bass, plenty of clarity. That sound system was very well done for the Xc90 without a doubt. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys, probably my favorite part about this infotainment screen is when you do put the Xc90 in reverse, you will find a rear view camera. That part's boring, but you guys, I've tested a ton of cars. This is the most high quality rear view camera I have seen to date. There's actually a 360-degree monitor then as well. And if you press the left and the right buttons, it gives you views really from the left or the right or whatever. So it is insanely high quality. So I am an absolute huge fan of that rear view camera. But as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, front side curtain airbags. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system. That's all boring, but the fun stuff comes in with the advanced safety that comes standard. And that's going to include a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, autonomous emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, rear collision warning, speed limit recognition then as well. And so overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the XC90, wonderful exterior styling. This is immediately recognizable as a Volvo without a doubt, which is a good thing. Volvo's got a very good design to all of their vehicles. Excellent safety as expected from Volvo. So if you're going to be hauling around precious cargo, aka kids in the back seat, this is definitely one you're going to feel perfectly at home with, because IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, after all. Plenty of cargo space, 85.7 cubic feet. Like I said, the Pilot comes in at 84. The Lexus LX, I know, comes in at like 83.1, I believe it is. So really plenty of space in this thing. Very nice tech. I like the simplistic design. The only thing is with the T6 that we're reviewing here is it doesn't come with rear window sunshade. So I wouldn't have minded that. And I put it that way because the T8 does come with rear window sunshades, but we're not reviewing that one today. But I wouldn't have minded if it came with the rear window sunshades. But anyways, that about rounds out this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen if you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it actually gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.